Erie, Colorado has quickly become one of the most desirable places to live within northern Colorado. With awesome access to Denver or Boulder or even Fort Collins, you can't find a better location than Erie. Erie offers a small town charm, modern neighborhoods, great schools, and extremely easy access to some major employment hubs. In this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know before maybe moving to Erie, Colorado to make sure it fits in with your lifestyle, your budget, and just your long-term plans. My name is Sam Milstrip, and I am a local realtor here in northern Colorado with LPT Realty. And if you have any questions about Erie, Colorado, any other city in the Denver metro or northern Colorado area, here's my contact information. Give me a text, give me a call, or even email me, and I'd love to help you out. Let's get into it. First up, to kick things off, let's get into the location. Now, as you can see on the map, Erie is centrally located to a lot of other known cities. So just south, maybe 30 minutes, you're gonna have Denver. And if you head out west and you wanna get out to Boulder, Boulder again is anywhere from probably 15 to 30 minutes depending on where you're at in Erie. Erie itself is actually located within Boulder County, so that just shows you how close it is to the city of Boulder. And that is just one of the many reasons people are moving to Erie, because you get a little bit further away from Boulder, the Boulder prices start to come down. Now, subjectively, we'll get into this in a little bit, but Erie, yes, it's a little bit more expensive than the average median price that we have here in northern Colorado. Now, some roadways you can plan on using when living in Erie. A lot of the time you'll find yourself on Highway 7, which is going to run west to east and will be your main vessel that'll get you over to Boulder. Now, if you do head a little bit west, you'll run into I-25. I-25 is going to be your main vein going north up to Fort Collins and south down to Denver. And last, you will have Highway 287. Again, this is going to go north to south. One thing to note is there are quite a bit of stoplights on this road, so during peak rush hour times, you find yourself in stop and go traffic. Now, moving on, and I touched on it slightly in the last topic, but we're going to get into the cost of living and the housing market here in Erie. Now, though Erie, Colorado is way more affordable than Boulder, you will generally see that Erie itself is a lot more expensive than most of our northern Colorado towns here. Now, subjectively, home values do reflect a strong demand just because so many people want to live there. You got newer construction and some great builders, and just your proximity to major cities. Now, I know you guys just already want me to get to the point. You want to know how much you're going to have to spend to live here or purchase a home in Erie. Now, on average, you're going to be looking at spending around $700,000 for a home here. Now, there are options that are a little bit less. We do have some townhomes and condos if you're looking for the $400,000 or $500,000 price range. But we do have to point out and remember that HOAs typically are higher with those, so that'll be rolled into your payment. And then if you're looking for luxury, you're looking for a little bit higher end, we do have homes in the millions plus, and we'll get into what neighborhoods will be best, whether you're looking for a little bit less or a little bit higher end, a little bit more expensive. All right, guys, before I get on to the next point, I just want to remind you that we have a new video that comes out every Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to dive deep into the northern Colorado area to make sure your move is as stress-free as possible. Now, I would like to remind you that I did create a relocation guide specifically for you, someone that's moving from out of state and doesn't know much about northern Colorado, or maybe you already live in Colorado, but again, you don't know much about the northern parts. It's in the description below. If you go ahead and click the link or scan this QR code right here, fill out your information, and I'm going to send that to you for free. Next up, we're going to zoom in a little bit and we're going to get into some of the popular neighborhoods a lot of people and even my clients are looking to move to. Now, Erie offers a whole bunch of different varieties of neighborhoods with different lifestyles and price points. Now, if you're looking for new construction, I highly recommend we go take a look at Westerly in Erie. Now, Westerly is a luxury master plan resort style community. It has a bunch of different variety of homes to choose from, starting with paired homes. Paired homes are going to be looking at starting around $500,000. Now, once you do get into the single family home, $700,000 is going to typically be right around where the cutoff is, and it gets into the millions. As you can see, the builders here in Westerly, they know what they're doing. They had a southern twist to their designs and it is just a little bit of a higher end feel. It might not be what you're typically used to when thinking of a brand new build. Amenities in this neighborhood, you're going to have a pool, you're going to have a hot tub, you have trails, you have parks, and then you even have a event style planner. This is somebody that actually works in the rec center there at the neighborhood, and she's responsible for putting on different events. So sometimes they'll have wine tastings, they'll have cooking events, they'll have movies in the park. So you can tell here within this community, it's super interactive and super community driven. And then next we have Vista Ridge, which is extremely close to the Colorado National Golf Course. Now, Vista Ridge has a mix of different styles of home. You had your generic stick builds, you had some semi-custom homes, and then custom build homes that get into the millions plus. This is the very sought after community, and it is definitely a neighborhood I suggest we take a look at. Now, just west to Vista Ridge is we have what's called Erie Air Park. Now, this is an extremely cool and unique neighborhood. Now, just like it sounds, there's an airport within this community. A lot of people that have their own personal planes and pilot's license, they love to live here because they have a hangar that backs up to the runway and they can go flying whenever they want. Now, within this neighborhood, you can typically expect to pay $1 million plus for some of these homes. Now, sometimes there's some deals that come on that are just dated, a little bit run down, and they might need a little bit of love for a little bit less than that. But for the most part, this is a higher end community. Some other great neighborhoods is Erie Highlands, Collier Hills, and Canyon Creek. Now, all these neighborhoods are great and I highly recommend them. Choosing the right neighborhood sometimes can be more important than choosing the right house. If you know of a neighborhood you want to be in, finding the house gets so much more simple. Bringing us to our next topic, we're getting into growth, development, and the future outlook of Erie. Now, Erie continues to experience a rapid population growth and development. If we look at today's current population, we're at about 40,000 residents. Back in 2020, it was about 25% less. So you can see that it's going to continue to grow. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of room for development. Now, Erie definitely still has that small town feel, but with all the population growth and all the development happening, you can expect a lot of new neighborhoods coming up in the coming years, new schools, and amenities. So with that, moving into Erie, expect ongoing construction and development throughout the next few years as it really starts to establish itself. With growth, it definitely brings opportunity, but if you are that person that's looking for a private house that has a little bit of land and you don't have a lot of people around you, I want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence, because with all this development, all this growth, is you might be on a few acres lots and there might be some farmland around you or just some open space. And if there's plans for a development to go in, that could take away your privacy, it could take away maybe your mountain views. So just some key important things to think about when buying in a less developed city. Now, if you are moving to Erie, Colorado, or northern Colorado in general, you're probably expecting to do some outdoorsy things, which brings us into our outdoor lifestyle and the community amenities Erie has to offer. Again, just like so many of our other cities here in northern Colorado, there's a lot to do in Erie, Colorado outdoors. So there's extensive walking trails, plenty of open space as we still have a lot of development to do. You won't be lost trying to find a community park or a playground for your kiddos. If you like to golf, you can expect about 4 different golf courses within a 20-minute radius. And last, with it giving such a small town feel, you have a lot of the community events. So in the spring and summer months, expect a farmer's market every Thursday, and then you also have a lot of different community events or weekend events that'll pop up. Now, last and definitely not least, if you are moving here with your family and you have kiddos, I guarantee you're wondering about the schools. Now, depending on where you're at within Erie, you're either going to be a part of the St. Vrain School District or the Boulder County School District. Now, I will say this about schools. Do your own research. What my views and my values for my children are might not be the same for you. So do your own research, get on the website, get on some Facebook group pages within the community and ask some questions of the residents. And most importantly, go tour that school. So what are the pros and what are the cons to living in Erie? For pros, you have a strong community feel, you have awesome location to a lot of different cities, highly rated schools, outdoor access is in your backyard, and last, you're going to have some pretty awesome modern neighborhoods. Now, for cons, there's really not that many. First, we're just going to call it how it is. It's more expensive here to live in Erie. With home prices usually starting around $700,000, that might just not be as much as you want to spend. All right, guys, that is it. That is everything I want you to know about Erie, Colorado before making a move. For many people, moving to Colorado, Erie strikes itself with a combination of great community feel and convenience. If you have any more questions at all about Erie, Colorado, or any city in the Denver metro or northern Colorado area, again, here's my contact information. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to help you. We'll catch you next time.